Hello everyone, and welcome to Disruptive Tech Innovation, episode 5B. Today's date is February 9th, 2020, and my name is Adam O'Dwyer. So we just did the video 5A along the lines of Tesla, and again with my goals of trying to cut down my videos. Still can't do this. So let's get right into now the second part, which is artificial intelligence. Where, as we always follow, Lex Friedman has had a good number of videos this week talking about all the different, obviously, artificial intelligence capabilities, range of different people. He's done more with Jim Keller this week, as he has recently. And, obviously talking a little bit about Tesla. And as we talked about Tesla a moment ago, with our Tesla section and a lot of Elon Musk's discussions on artificial intelligence, and obviously mentioned Lex. And here they're also obviously talking a little bit about that with autopilot, and always with Joe Rogan. As I mentioned, Joe Rogan does a lot with artificial intelligence, having Lex on quite a bit. And also just across the board, they've been a lot of different discussions there. And also Lex has these clips. I'm not sure how long he's been doing these. It looks like pretty recently, but let's see, maybe not. I've mentioned recently how a lot of the guys have been doing this. So yeah, I guess it's been a little bit, so a couple months. So again, some more, just clips of some of the more in-depth videos that they've been doing. Okay, so here was one of them that you talked about with Joe Rogan and getting into some of the AI improvements, self-improvements. And so they talk, and actually I left this over here because I wanted to show, there's just so much, of course there's so much out there, but there's, always a lot of discussions with these guys and some of the other teams where both Joe is always following a lot of it, as is obviously Lex is doing his thing. Okay, so let's expand this just a little bit. And okay, so on this one here, and again, where Joe has quite a few subscribers, I don't mind giving a little details versus, again, if it was, some of the main folks I follow with regard to, YouTube influencers, trying to make a mark within the industries and so forth. So I don't mind giving a little more details here. So they talked a little bit about, they definitely talked about Musk, and, Lex here was talking about how he's just, amazed with, the type of person Elon Musk is, that how he makes the impossible happen. And that he's a legit engineer focused on the first principles, which we're all very familiar with. That he's AI boldly. He said that from scratch he can build ourselves in months with AI, or build the different technologies around around Musk's autonomous driving, and that there's just it's revolutionary that he's doing things over the air, which I think Ford announced that as well. But he was saying how all other car companies need to be doing this. Where even we just on that video we talked for Tesla earlier, where Kathy Wood talked about Musk and the different technologies, where that over the air. Where she bought her car in 2018, and it is a better Tesla than it was when she bought it. And so a lot of the folks have talked about that as well. We talked about Tesla's, he calls it a TPU, a Tesla processor unit. We mentioned that in the other Tesla videos of how Kathy Woods and everybody else talks about, especially when Elon Musk had their Autonomous Day, and they showcased their new board with the CPUs where they built it from scratch. They're no longer using the NVIDIAs and some of the others are using, and he just talked about the same thing, how they're light years ahead or many years ahead. He's just, that Musk is generally a hard worker, he's passionate, and he thinks, talks about how passion comes first, and you can see some of these other things. So Joe talked about running through his head, and he can't contain. It's like running like a river. And then I think it was Lex ended up saying that Tesla unseats Apple as millennials' first most favorite stock. So I thought that was a pretty interesting bullet point to mention as well. All right, so here was a story on using artificial intelligence to combat coronavirus. I have not gotten a chance to look at that, but I thought I'd reference that because I think that's pretty important to what's going on. There is a lot of talk. Obviously, some of the numbers increasing, which obviously unfortunate. But there's also a lot of talk on things are different versus the SARS virus. I think it was 18 years ago. Technologies, of course, communications, and so forth. And I think there was even talk where the current administration is really trying to lock down a lot right now to really help combat that and get ahead of this. So hopefully that will be helpful as well. There's always stories on what is artificial intelligence, so there's just thousands of those. Wanted to point out a couple. I liked some of these. What is machine learning? He's done a good job here. And of course, every one of Lex's videos, you could go on, and they're just amazing, just in depth. Here are a bunch we talked earlier about. He's got a lot on Musk, and here's, if you scroll down more, a couple more here, and some more down here, I think, coming up. But just anything about AI, machine learning, all of this, just watch all of his, they're just amazing stories. All right, so I think that was nice and quick. Hopefully we might have hit our 8 to 10 minute mark, and if so, I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. Again, my name is Adam O'Dwyer with Disruptive Tech Innovation. Please like, subscribe, and share this information so we can all help each other, learn more about what's happening, and also help make business decisions, stock decisions, and so forth. And again, as I always say, I am not an investment advisor. Just take this data that I like to share and leverage that with your investment advisor to make your own investment decisions, not based on what I'm saying. This is just for information. Okay, well, we will see you next week, and thanks for your time.